You found Stryker of Enyo. This is the top 20 beginner tips in Metal Gear Solid 5, the Ultimate Edition. So, you just got Metal Gear Solid 5, either on a good sale or perhaps you even got it for free. PlayStation Plus members got it for free a while back, and now Xbox One users got it for free on their Games with Gold service. Maybe you jumped into the game right away, or maybe it's been sitting on your hard drive for a little while now, but the point is you finally got a chance to experience this masterpiece of a game from Hideo Kojima. There's a lot to this game, and there are also several so-called beginner tips videos out there already. So why is mine different? Because I added the words Ultimate Edition to it, of course. Well, that's not all. I started over from scratch. You see, I already made a top 10 beginner tips and a top 10 advanced tips video, and I played the game on Xbox One for over 250 hours at this point. I don't even earn automatic materials processing anymore for all but one category because I discovered they top off at 1.1 million in reserve. But I began a new game on PlayStation 4 and played another 50 hours, and I decided to remake this beginner tips video using all of the knowledge from over 300 hours of total play and 2 years worth of playing and making videos. Others made their beginner tips videos shortly after starting the game, but this list is compiled of the tips that I feel were the most important to know even after 200 plus hours of play on the same platform. And I've added the best spots to farm materials early on. These are the top 20 ultimate beginner tips that I find the most useful to know for your first 15 to 30 hours of play or so. Nearly all footage in this video is Metal Gear Solid 5 on a PlayStation 4 Pro, aside from a few isolated moments where I show my main account. Then it's footage from an Xbox One X. All footage is from the built-in DVR function on consoles, so unfortunately that means only 30 FPS, so sorry in advance. This is a big video, so I have the entire thing broken down into time codes in the description below, and at the end of the video I got links to my other strategy videos in case you want even more help. The first thing you should know is that I'm specifically focusing on the experience for those just starting a new game. I already made a top 10 advanced tips, so I'm purposely leaving some stuff out in order to be concise here. So some places are good to farm supplies early on, but there are better places later on, and I acknowledge that. You will probably argue with some of the things on this list, but I made this video for those just starting out. Yes, you will see videos telling you the best place to farm materials is Mission 30, but you can easily play for 20 to 30 hours before you even get there for the first time. Or you might hear that the wormhole Fulton is the best version to get, but you don't get that until you basically beat all the story missions. So you're not going to have that until much later on. I'm giving you tips and strategies that you can use right away, or hopefully within a few hours of play. Keep in mind that I am not using my character that has 250 hours. I started a brand new save on a different platform, so I am experiencing the game exactly the same way you would be. I didn't just replay the first few missions with my max tier weapons and massive loads of GMP. I won't be using any gear or weapons that you won't have access to. I even had to relearn how I received some of my upgrades, since it's literally been years since the first time I did this. When I first started playing the game, I really hated it when someone was showing me a farming technique or the most efficient way of doing something, but they had already had access to rank 6 stealth camo, all the upgrades to the D-Walker, the wormhole Fulton, and the Raiden suit, which you get by getting an S rank on all missions, which is no easy task. This was frustrating for me since I didn't have access to any of those items. That's why I made this video, for the guys, the fans, like you. Oh, and maybe my original Xbox One died. So while I was waiting for an Xbox One X to arrive at my doorstep, I decided to play my free version of Metal Gear Solid 5. But still, I recorded all the footage with making this video in mind. Oh, and don't bother looking for my original top 10 beginner tips. I deleted it so the two videos don't get mistaken for each other. It was literally one of the first videos I put together. I didn't like the mic I was using. I was never really happy with the quality overall. But this is possibly the most comprehensive beginner list for Metal Gear Solid 5 out there. So let's begin.
Boss, do you think you could bring back more medicinal plants?
I'm doing things a little different for this top 20 list. There are fundamental things you should be doing right from the very beginning. So I'm going to list those first. Normally these starting goals would be pretty high on the list, but I wanted to emphasize their importance by mentioning these first, so you know to start doing them right away. That gives me the room to tackle a few more specific tasks later on as we climb the list. Besides, there are a few things that are almost automatically given to you, so there's no need to put them on the list. One of the first ones is get to mission 22. So our goal for this ultimate beginner tips is to get to mission 22. That's where the cutoff is. By the time you get there, you'll have a great farming spot in mission 21, which will be your primary spot until you reach mission 30. This will also unlock the FOB functionality to you, expanding your bases even more and letting you attack other players' bases. If you take your time, you can easily spend 50 hours just to get to mission 22, but let's focus on getting you there as fast as possible. Then you can relax a bit and build up your resources. So you also want to get the dog. The dog is definitely important, but the game nearly puts the dog so close to you that you'll end up nearly tripping over it. In fact, my first time on Xbox One, I ran the little guy over with my horse. You most likely will encounter him at the landing site of the 4th mission, but there are a few other places he can be located. The game is designed so that it is hard to miss the dog, and that's a good thing. Also, you want to get plants. It might not seem important early on, but grab all the plants you can as often as you can. These plants are required to develop certain weapons, like the ones that use tranquilizers. Plus, you need a certain amount of specific plants in order to deploy this with certain weapons. So just get all you can. It also goes without saying, rescue prisoners. Seriously, grab any prisoner that you come across. Use D-Dog or Quiet to locate them, then extract them. They will often be specialists that will add certain functions to your base, or they might be required to research a specific weapon or piece of equipment. More on this later, but just keep this in mind while you play. You also want to Fulton everything. I know there are troublemakers out there, but at this early stage of the game, you need all the personnel that you can get, especially if they have a good stat. So grab all the soldiers you can, along with any vehicles and anything else you can swipe. You can always sell it later. Another big thing is to grab the daily rewards, specifically on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. You get a reward for signing into the game every day, and this can range from plants to materials to even GMP. On certain days, you are guaranteed to receive MB coins, which is the only digital currency used to buy items in the multiplayer mode. And it's also used to buy an additional FOB once you have the feature unlocked. You can pay real-life money for them, but it's not needed. You can earn a minimum of 75 a week because you get about 30 or 35 on Saturday and Sunday. Wednesday always gives you 10 or 15. So grab all the MB coins that you can while you're playing, and you should easily have enough MB coins to buy a second FOB by the time you've maxed out the free one that they give you. Okay, so here we go. We're starting off with number 20, extract an interpreter for different languages. It's important that you get an interpreter as soon as possible, otherwise you will not know what enemy soldiers are saying at all. There won't be any subtitles to help you out. You won't know what they're saying when they go on alert, you won't know when they alert other camps, and even if you hold up a soldier, you won't be able to get any information because he won't understand you.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter.
You think this should be high on the list, right? Well, they basically point you directly at the Russian interpreter in mission 4, CW2, or C2W, whatever. So let's move on.
Lie down.
I don't know English. Angliski.
Number 19, focus on upgrading your equipment. Specifically, we're looking at your tools, which are the scope, the iDroid, the Fulton device, and we're also going to throw in the Wu silence pistol there. as you start playing, you're going to want to focus on upgrading these things. There are a lot of different things to buy early on, but we want to maximize getting a few nice upgrades that will help you out tremendously in the immediate future. Don't get too busy playing and just start buying every firearm available. Upgrading the scope will add a microphone feature and an analyzer that will display the abilities of soldiers and prisoners and the exact skills they possess. This will become vital later on. iDroid upgrades will give you a speaker, and it will allow you to add more map markers. Upgrading your Fulton device will give you more ammo, make it harder for guards to take them down when seen, and reduce the waiting time. Seriously, you only get 12 to start with before you need a supply drop, and you're going to need more as soon as possible. And the silenced pistol is important because you want to hold more ammo and to be able to do more damage with it. Feel free to add a few things as you go, like grenades, a few upgrades to your favorite assault rifle, and you really need a good sniper rifle. I recommend the M2000D with its superb damage, range, and it's also very accurate, though it's slow to fire since it is a bolt action. It starts out basic, but further research will give you a suppressor, and it will eventually unlock the non-lethal version, the M2000NL. You really need a good suppressed tranquilizer rifle to knock out targets from a long range, and that's going to come up later. So, moving on. Number 18, unlock Cargo 2 ability. Quite easily, one of the first things you need to acquire is the ability to unlock the Cargo 2 Fulton ability. This will let you Fulton vehicles and shipping containers. You need to be able to Fulton containers in order to get enough materials in order to unlock some of the later base requirements. To get Cargo 2, you need to have 100,000 GMP, R&D team level 18, support unit level 16, and the hardest part of the requirements is retrieving the transportation specialist. There's one at the beginning of Mission 10 in the building with the 3 floors. There's 2 prisoners in the middle floor, but the one on the top floor is the one that we want. Take D-Dog to highlight the location of the prisoner, but be fast. They will start executing the prisoners if you take longer than 6 minutes or so. Pick this guy up, and seriously, it's one of the best things and one of the fastest things you need to do early on so that you can start grabbing vehicles and getting those shipping containers. So this is the first mission we're going to actually do some farming in. Number 17, farming materials on Mission 8, Occupation Forces. We're actually going to be Fultoning 3 vehicles and then selling them for GMP. It's going to be really helpful in the beginning part of the game. I do have some guidelines though. As always, start in free roam. There's a reason why we need to start in free roam when it comes to the shipping containers, but in this case, starting in free roam actually puts us closer to our objective than we normally would if we came in on a helicopter. So go ahead and grab the horse. The horse is the key to speed on this one. We don't need to worry about the dog finding enemies or whatnot. You also want to bring some decoys with you. So this is vital. You really need to have a decoy because that's going to keep the attention of the tank that we want to occupy. So you can do this with only 4, but I'm going to tell you right now, since this might be your first time doing it, go ahead and bring 8 with you. 4 is the absolute minimum that you need, but it's going to take you a little bit of time to get the timing down and whatnot before you can actually do it yourself. So we are in free roam at the moment, so now we are going to pop the iDroid, we're going to go to missions, and then we're going to actually activate the mission itself. Then you're going to go to the marker. You see that little yellow diamond? That's actually a marker where you need to go on the map in order to start a mission. It's actually a pretty handy system. That way you don't need to be coming in on a helicopter every single time for every single mission. You'll just see this little beacon over there that's beeping, and as soon as you get close enough to it, it will automatically start a cutscene, which you can skip, of course, and then the mission itself will start up proper. So as soon as we get out into the wild, we're going to jump on our horse, and then we're going to activate the map, and I'm going to put a marker down on the exact location where we need to go in order to start to set up our mines. It's going to be a little off to the left. There's going to be a column of vehicles that we're going to automatically trigger. I think if you stay still, they eventually come to the town. I'm not exactly sure. But like I said, we're going to make them come down the road. So don't wait here for them to come around the corner. So we're going to skip forward a little bit. It's a little bit of a jog, but so we're going to get out of our horse, get off of our horse. Grab the decoys. There's a little brown line you're going to see on the road. That should be on all versions of the game. We're going to set our mines behind it, and you're going to want to stagger them a little bit, kind of like I'm doing. Do not put these mines within like a meter or two of each other. You want to kind of give it some room so the tank can't take out more than one at a time. So we're going to sneak around here, and the vehicles have been activated. And we want to hide behind this rock here and then activate right when that truck is directly in front of us. That is going to activate one of the decoys, and one of the tanks, the lead tank, is going to start shooting. So we're going to start to pick up these vehicles. That tank will always back up. I'm going to screw up here and actually jump in the back of the truck. You're probably going to do it a dozen times yourself. Who knows? But yeah, just you'll see me keep activating those decoys. Keep doing that to keep the attention of the tank, and you'll notice that a decoy will be popping up every single time. I'll even mark it in the video. So all you need to do is, while the tank is preoccupied with your decoy, is just Fulton all three vehicles, and then that's it. We marked on the map a location that we're going to go to. That's going to trigger the autosave. Just imagine that every outpost has a circle drawn around it, and that's basically an autosave location. So we want to get far enough away or close enough to this other one. There we go. Now all the items that we got are saved. So, I mean, we can die, you can lose power, you can throw your Xbox out the window. All that stuff has been saved to your mother base. Now we want to select restart. This is very important, and this is one of the only missions we're going to actually select restart, because we're not getting shipping containers, we're just grabbing the vehicles. So it has nothing to do with shipping containers. We can hit restart and go right back into the same mission without any kind of pause or hesitation. So this is a pretty good one to be farming. You can do it within about a couple of minutes each time. As you can see, boom, we've already activated the mission again, and we can go and grab those tanks and trucks and then sell them for a big buttload of GMP. And here I am selling those vehicles under the resources. As you can see, the tank's 100,000, the truck's 30,000. So altogether, you'll be getting 230,000 every time you do this. And yes, you can use the more advanced technique of supply dropping yourself another tank before the mission starts, and then Fultoning it after you've started the mission, which will give you a third tank. So you can actually get over 300,000. I just didn't do it right now because of time constraints, but do know that you can use that technique as well. Number 16, this is going to be using the knock command. Since you're starting a new game, you don't have much equipment, and you might not want to spend the GMP or meet the requirements to research other equipment right away. Your bionic arm actually has a built-in feature. You can use the knock ability, which makes a sound in order to lure the enemy toward your current location. It's kind of like if Sam Fisher forgot how to whistle. You can bring the enemy right to you. Just hold down the left bumper or L1, which is your radio button, and then do up on the analog stick, and you make the knock sound, and it'll lure an enemy right to you. You don't even need to be next to a wall. It's faster than throwing a magazine, and it can be done while prone. Holy shit! That was fucking cool! Did I do that?
Okay.
Number 15, research the stealth camo PP. This is one of those items that will restrict your mission to an A ranking if you use it, but you can still use it to complete missions if you don't mind a lower rank. For our purposes, we want to use it because it makes farming for materials significantly faster, since you can eventually run at full speed and not alert guards. The prototype stealth camo PP is technically a separate item than the stealth camo, but you won't be able to get the stealth camo until after mission 43. I'll have instructions on that later on. You will be able to research the stealth camo PP or the prototype rather early in the game. The main roadblock is going to be that your R&D must be at level 22, while the other requirements are 280,000 GMP and 150 minor metal. Both of those are rather easy though. You will start at grade 3, noted by that little star next to the item, and you can research it to grade 4 and grade 5. And you actually need to do that before you can get the stealth camo. The stealth camo PP only lasts in short bursts, and it has a limited set number of uses. Like, for example, at grade 4, it only lasts for 45 seconds at a time, and you only get 3 total uses. The full stealth camo will deplete while being used, but it will recharge its energy whenever it's not in use, and you can use it an unlimited amount of times. There's instructions on screen for that.
Boss, if you got time on your hands, come spend it back at the base.
Number 14, return to Mother Base occasionally. You may see a number of videos telling you to constantly return to your Mother Base to unlock hidden cutscenes and additional content. While this isn't exactly a lie, don't worry about this too much. Many features and unlocks are done by completing certain missions, like unlocking D-Walker, your intel team, being able to buy FOBs, and more. Yes, there are certain cutscenes you will only see by returning to your Mother Base. They're not automatically triggered. And there are a few hidden things to find out later on, but in the early parts of the game, this isn't a requirement. Many cutscenes are started immediately after completing a mission or before starting a new one, so don't feel like you need to return after every mission, but do make a conscious effort to visit every 3 to 4 missions, just not to miss out. Like D-Dog, you have to go back in order to trigger that one. Wait. Why is everything pink? Is Hideo punking me again? Did I just get punked by the developer of Metal Gear Solid 5? God damn it. Why is everything pink? Well, I mean, you're pretty secure in your masculinity if you're wearing a leopard outfit and your base is entirely pink, right? I mean, that's a sign of extreme masculinity, right? Right? Instead of painting dicks on everything. At least a dog, you can't paint him pink. This brings us to number 13, collect challenge task rewards. Challenge tasks are something they actually added after the fact. There's certain tasks that when you complete them, you will get a reward for it. It's pretty simple. There's a corresponding reward for nearly everything you do in the game. Look for the tasks that have the gold letters. Those are ones that are given to you while you're in online mode. And the reward also has a cutoff date for that. But yeah, I mean, seriously, this is how you get a lot of extra plants, extra men. You can get S-rank soldiers this way. You can get vehicles and other stuff that you need just by doing what it says on the screen. You'll notice that, I mean, getting so many headshots will give you stuff, earning so many rankings, performing so many interrogations, taking over so many outposts. Nearly everything is tied to a task, so always come here and look for your reward. Number 12 is combat deployment. This is a pretty big one. This is where the dispatch missions are. This is really important, sending out the men that you already have essentially on dispatch missions. There's ones that are online and ones that are offline. Most of the offline stuff is going to be like the little yellow dots next to those. You want to do those for story related stuff. You can also get some extra plants. You can get some extra materials. You can get some pretty low-level guys, too. This is also where you do, like, storage shed stuff, where you can eliminate the armored helmets and whatnot. You just gotta have the required men to go out on these. But this is where you get, when they come back, they will be part of your daily rewards. And you'll see the rewards from the individual missions. Take note, though, that your team can actually die. Sometimes you will actually have a survival rate for certain ones. Online stuff, that's where you get some really good rewards, but the ones that are in gold, you probably won't be able to get right away because you won't have a high enough level. So you won't have S rank people, but eventually you can start farming a bunch of S rank. You can do it like at 30 people at a time. You can also do like 4 S plus rank at a time. Do know that you will be essentially, some of your men are going to die. They just are. And you can always see them highlighted in red. Some will get injured, but they'll eventually get better. So some rewards, like in order for me to get 30 people here, I lost a couple of A rank, which wasn't a big deal. But just know that there are some consequences for getting like the S rank or the S plus rank. but it really helps filling out your mother base so you don't need to Fulton every single person that you come across. So yeah, always be checking these out, always be dispatching people on missions. So now we can start farming those shipping containers. This is number 11, farming materials on mission 18. Blood runs deep. Now, I've been doing this for a couple of years, farming these shipping containers, and I got a few rules. It will make it so much easier if you just follow them. So, one of my tips for farming the containers, do not complete the mission. Also, do not restart the mission. We're always going to be hitting abort. And finally, do not grab containers while in free roam. Please abide by these rules. I will actually cover the ramifications for breaking any of these rules later on as we're farming for the materials, but just keep these in mind and it'll make your life extremely easy. If you're in a mission and you think, oh, I got some good containers, I want to come back and farm them again, do not complete the mission. They will disappear on you. Never restart the mission after immediately grabbing a bunch of containers, because number one, they never got saved if you didn't do it right, and number two, you're going to have decreased values. But again, I will cover all of that later on and actually show you that it is in place, those penalties I talk about. And also, do not grab containers while in free roam, because when you grab them in free roam, when you try to start a mission properly, then those containers will be completely gone. So for the most part, while you can grab all the containers that you want, if you're just playing a mission, you're gonna complete it and then you're gonna move on after that. That's completely fine. But for the missions that you want to actually come back to and re-grab the containers continuously, always just leave them be, finish the mission, and then you can always come back and farm them later. So anyway, here we go for mission 18. There's two different ways of doing this mission, but just abide by the rules, man. I've played this game so much.
Good dog.
And now we're starting the shipping container run. This is going to be the short run. Mission 18, Blood Runs Deep. As always, start in free roam. When you select mission, instead you want to right bumper over or right R1 over to the free roam menu, and then pick the location where you're dropping in. And as you can see, now you want to activate the mission and go to the marker. There's our yellow marker. As you can see, there's one that's right in front of us. So that's the one we want to go to. As you can see, it'll be behind us. Now what we want to do is we want to actually go into our menu and supply drop ourselves a tank. You should easily have a tank in your inventory by now, thanks to farming on mission 8. Don't drop the tank right on the yellow diamond. Drop it a little ways back so that we have enough room to get in the tank and position it correctly. That goes with all of these farming techniques. You want to put the tank in the direction that we're going to be running to. So how it works is that when we activate this beacon, the beacon is going to not only say the exact location and orientation of the tank, but also the direction that we are looking in. Relative, it might be off a little bit. So we basically want to position the tank so that it's between us and the direction we need to run, so that once we come out of this cutscene, all we do is run forward, Fulton the tank, and then run forward onto the base. So just keep that in mind whenever you drop yourself a tank. Put it in your way so that it's easy to get to. So now we just run into the outpost itself. We mainly want to get across the road before that guy gets in his watchtower and sees us, but make sure you look to the right though and mark that vehicle that's on the road, the APC. It's actually going to loop all the way around and come back here in about 4 or 5 minutes. So feel free to silence people out, check to see with the analyzer if they have a good rank. We definitely want to come back for him. Don't start knocking out guys too early, because the tank will basically just blow its horn and wake them back up. But do keep in mind that if you take too long, that vehicle's going to come around, so you're going to want to make sure to not get caught with your pants down, as they say in the porn industry. Is that a thing? Probably not. But yeah, we basically just want those 2 shipping containers. This is the short version of this run. You're going to see a long run where I actually grab containers in about 4 different locations, but for right now we just want to get these 2. Like I said, knock out any guys you want, grab information, and grab everything that's not nailed down. The thing about Mission 18 is that this place has 2 containers of common metal right at the start. If you have been farming on Mission 21, then you know that one of the materials that are in low supply are common metal, so this should fill your early need for the common metal. So now we're going to leave the area to trigger the autosave. You should be used to this. There's that little checkpoint symbol. Now we know it's autosaved. That's just materials processing. Ignore that. There we go. There's our 8,250 of the common metal. So now all we want to do is basically select abort mission at this point. As you'll notice, it just says abort mission. It doesn't say abort mission, return to ACC. That's why we're in free roam, because boom, all we need to do is just reactivate the mission. So now we go back into our menus and select the mission again, and then the little beacon thing will be added to the map. If you're standing close enough to it, it'll automatically pick it up, and you don't have to ride the helicopter whatsoever. That's why this method is so tried and true. And then all you do is you just redo exactly what you just did. As soon as you spawn in, you Fulton the tank and you go over and get your shipping containers all over again. Then some of you have actually commented or sent me an email on, but Stryker, what if I hit restart mission? Is that the same? Well, what do you think, nerd? But no, it's not the same. I spend actually a long time constructing the best possible ways of doing stuff. I don't have time to always explain why I do every single individual thing. I just ask that you guys actually follow it. But yes, if you hit restart mission, or even if you start a mission from the ACC, there has been an update that happened after Kojima left the company, whereas in this specific spot, you used to get 750 of one type, and then 7,500 units. Now you get severely reduced values, where you only get 75 units per container. It almost makes it not worth farming, thanks to that. This entire update is the reason why I say to always start in free roam. You will completely bypass the need to worry about reduced values for the containers if you start in free roam and then start the mission from that. If you start the mission directly from the ACC, you can grab those shipping containers once, but if you try to repeat it in any way, whether you abort back to the ACC and then you go back into the mission, or by hitting reset, either one of those, you will get the reduced values, unfortunately. And you have to wait a real-world hour before these values reset. That's right, 1 hour in real time, not in game time. They did this to stop us from farming materials, so just keep that in mind. I know, it's annoying, but this is what you have to do in order to bypass it. That's why I made those rules, so it doesn't cause you guys any heartache. So here we go. Here's the long version of Mission 18. We're going to grab more containers this time. As always, start in free roam, activate the mission, go to the marker, supply drop yourself a tank. You've seen me already do this. I'm marking the location of the shipping containers we're going to be getting right now on the map, so make a note of that. That's what I was doing. We got 3 different locations, a couple different spots. Make sure to mark that APC as you jump out of the helicopter, or if it's on your right when you jump out the other way, when you start the mission the other way. We're going to be looking for 19,500 common metal, 8,000 minor metal, and some precious. And also there's 3 APCs that control this area, so be on the lookout for them. You might want to pick yourself up 1 or 2, depending on what you want. Make sure it auto-saves, and that way you know that those containers got added to your mother base. Make a note of this APC, because by the time you get done farming in the first location, it might be in your way. So just be aware of it. Then we move on to the second location. We're actually doing the lower route. We don't need to go the way the game wants us to go, because we just want these containers. So you're going to grab some more containers at the second location. Once again, we take the lower route up the hill, which is a lot quicker. You can grab a horse if you want, or a jeep. Make a note of the helicopter as you get closer to the mine. It's going to be around there, and you might have to fend it off a little bit. Well, hide from it a little bit. And then the third set of containers that we're going to get, this third location, is actually going to be the mine itself. As soon as we open the door, we got 1 set next to us on our right. And then as we get a little closer to that, we're going to see off to the left that there's our last group of shipping containers. and that's going to be behind the fence line. So we'll need to pick the lock. As you can see, here we are on the location. You're not going to want to necessarily do this long version too many times, because all you need to do is get to mission 21 and you'll be okay for a while. Maybe grab some common metal on this map, but you don't need to do this long version too many times. And once you get to mission 30, then you're set for good. This is just an emergency situation where you need to have some materials, and let's say you're only up to mission 19 or 20 at the time. But yeah, enter that fenced-in area, grab the containers. Always make sure you grab containers and then hit that auto-save. That means it will be saved to your mother base no matter what happens. If you get seen, if you get killed, you know it's safe. So you just run out the gate, head straight toward the road, and then select abort mission. And then restart it again and build up your resources. Number 10 is upgrade mother base facilities. I guess it kind of goes without saying, but yeah, as you upgrade your mother base, you will realize that each platform that you build is going to give you anywhere from 5 to 10 to maybe even 20 personnel every time you do it, especially when you do the command platform. Everything is relatively pretty inexpensive at the very beginning too, especially if you're starting to grab shipping containers already. You're looking at only like 1,000 fuel or 1,000 common metal or 1,000 biological, along with a certain amount of GMP, and you can build a platform. And it's going to add more men. More men in any one of the categories that you got are going to mean that you're going to be able to rank it up. And as you rank up your different platforms, you're going to be able to R&D a lot more advanced stuff, and that's really the key. That is the thing that really keeps you away from unlocking a lot of things, is that your teams just aren't high enough of a level. And don't forget the FOB. The FOB, once you max out your mother base, you can be maxing out your FOB as well, or do both at the same time. Whatever you need to do, just keep grabbing men and keep sticking them in your base. Number 9, buy a second FOB with the free daily reward MB coins. This is why I told you to keep grabbing those MB coins on Wednesday, Sunday, and Saturday, because even though the first FOB is given to you for free, if you want a second one, it's going to cost you. But if you keep grabbing those MB coins, then you should have plenty in order to buy a second, if not a third FOB when you really need it. The amounts that you see right now are on PlayStation 4. They're relatively low. I mean, 550, 600. The one thing you're going to notice that's stopping you from getting that next upgrade is not materials, but the actual level of the different sections, like R&D, support, intel. They need to be a high enough level, so you need to get as many soldiers as possible and stick them in your mother base and your FOB. So buy them as soon as you can. Also, FOB 3 on Xbox was like 1,100 or 1,200. That seemed a little expensive, but maybe that's just the cost of the third FOB. I think it does cost more than 2. Number 8, destroy radar and communications. So you might not have noticed it right away, but Hideo Kojima has made the guards work smarter than nearly any other stealth game out there. You might notice the radio chatter while playing the Phantom Pain. Guards saying they thought they saw something. If they don't report back that it was nothing, then they send someone else to check on him, asking for backup, sending reinforcements, and so on. You can see here the outpost to the north was set at a low alert level, while the alert level at the one that I'm at was actually at moderate. You'll notice that they'll actually radio for all bases to go on alert in just a few seconds. And that's going to raise up the level. So now the alert level is high where I'm at, and the base that I haven't even gone to in the north is alert level moderate. So now even when using something like the stealth camo, they're going to be more aware of it. They might actually spot me a lot easier, and they'll be at the ready, and they'll actually be looking around. Their patrols will actually be different when they go on a medium level of alert. So you should be aware of this, and in order to stop it, you need to destroy the communications. That's this group of 6 little boxes with the blue lights on it. If you destroy the radio communications, then they can't ask for backup. They're limited to the amount of resources that are at the base that they're specifically at. They also can't radio out to the other bases to let you know that you're coming. You also want to take out the anti-air. Taking out the anti-air in an area will actually add more locations where your helicopter can drop. That's actually one of the main reasons why it's mission 4. You can drop right into the middle of things because you took out the radar ahead of time. So be aware of those. They're really important. I know, technically, weapon customization was also on my top 10 advanced tips. It's number 7 here, but quite honestly, you get it available to you so early in the game, it's gotta be on beginner tips. Seriously, the side op 107, Capture the Legendary Gunsmith, becomes available after Story Mission 13. It might not show up right away because there's only a limited amount of side ops open per area at the same time, so you might need to keep on doing side ops in the Anglo-Zaire border region until it shows up. But you just have to do this mission like 3 times, or at least capture 3 different people that claim they're the legendary gunsmith, and before you know it, you actually will find the real legendary gunsmith, and you will be able to finally customize your weapons. And dear God, believe me, it is glorious. You can take the weapon parts off of any gun of the same category and swap them with other versions. As you buy new rifles and new sights, they'll become instantly swappable with other weapons. That means you can take a level tier silencer and put it on a gun that normally wouldn't have a silencer, but also you can put a better silencer on it. You can easily take the best suppressor in the game and put it on the absolute cheapest level of your silenced pistol in order to take the benefits from it. You can add little Uzis to the bottom of your rifles. You can change the colors to several different ones, swap out barrels, different sights. You can add a suppressor to a light machine gun. Normally you can't even buy one that comes that way. The only way to actually have it is to equip it in weapon customization. You can add a drum magazine to an automatic shotgun and then add a suppressor on top of that. It is simply insane. Suppressors go on everything, apparently, and dear God, all that is holy, what in the hell is that? That's not even practical. But Stryker, I keep running out of ammo all the time. Well, guess what? You can supply drop yourself some ammo pretty fast and easy. In fact, you can actually supply drop yourself every weapon that's in your inventory at any point. Rocket launcher, grenade launcher, mines, grenades. I mean, you can also replenish the ammo of your current weapons. That's easy. That's just a couple of clicks away. But you can drop yourself even a completely different loadout that you have pre-made ahead of time. You can drop yourself tanks and vehicles, basically anything you need. So you're really not that limited. So please don't forget that if you run out of ammo or your suppressor breaks, you can supply drop yourself more. It really is a really key component of this game. Number 5, interrogate everyone by using hold up or by just holding down the right trigger and grabbing them. So by interrogating someone, you can actually ask them valuable information. So you just hold your weapon at them, then you hold down the radio button, which is going to be L1 or the left bumper, depending on your platform of choice. You can ask for valuable information, you can ask for the location of his friends, or you can tell them to get down. If you tell them to get down, they will actually stay down until an alert level has been raised. And sure enough, when you look at your map, they actually have marked the location of precious metals, or shipping containers, or blueprints, or even mark the location of some of their high-ranking friends. There are some guards that are actually immune to being held up, whether by pointing the gun at least at them, because they basically will go for a weapon almost immediately. You might need to actually hold down the right trigger, also known as the CQC button, and you might, maybe by grabbing them, you can actually coax them into a little information. Be sure that when you do tell them to get down, that you actually knock them out. That way, as they're being Fultoned, they're going to be unconscious. Because if you don't knock them out, there's a chance that they will yell and that somebody nearby will hear them. Kind of like what I accidentally did right here. Yeah, that's not good. He's going to radio in for backup now because I didn't knock him out. So just be sure to knock them out. Like I said, even if you get seen, you basically can, as long as you hold down that right trigger, or the R1 button, I think, on PlayStation. I think it's both the triggers, both platforms. So yeah, it works really well. And there's some commands that you can actually tell the dog to do while you're choking a guy. It doesn't really help though, but I mean, it just... What the fuck did he just do? That might have been the coolest thing I've ever seen! Can we see it again? Oh my god, that was awesome! Hideo Kojima, you are a freaking genius! A freaking genius! Number 4, acquire specialists to get specific upgrades. You might have noticed that when you're obtaining men around the field and women, they have a skill that's involved with them, and it might be highlighted in yellow. That means they actually fill a role in unlocking something like a prosthetic arm or a piece of the prosthetic arm or other stuff. The game actually goes out of its way to let you know when you unlock one of these guys. These guys are needed in order to develop specific upgrades for weapons and items. You need to find specialists in order to develop them. They're usually going to be prisoners during the main missions and side ops, so it's always best to search the entire play area to find them because they possess a skill that's needed for Mother Base. You'll notice that every mission has a list of obtainable skills and or blueprints that are located there in the upper right corner. So you'll see the ones that are grayed out, those are the ones that we already have, but you'll also notice any of the highlighted ones in white, we don't have them yet. So we got the surgeon, but we need the electro-spinning specialist, we need the cybernetic specialist. You will find them within the confines of that particular mission, so roam around, look everywhere, get them, unlock them, and use them. It's pretty handy to find them. Here we go, this is the big one. Stryker, aren't you gonna say that's what she said? No, we don't even have time for that. This is number 3, farming materials on Mission 21, the war economy. So here I am on the map, I'm marking the locations of the shipping containers that we're gonna get. There's the first one over there, the other one's over here by the warehouse. Then we're gonna go outside the fence and around the corner, and that'll lead to the third area. Then we're going to exfiltrate the area and get out of here. Yes, I know about the shipping containers of precious metal right here, but we don't have the wormhole Fulton. And remember, you're just starting a new game, so that's just what it is. We're going to move kind of fast here, but as always, start in free roam, activate mission, go to marker, supply yourself a tank. This is the long version because a short version would just mean you grab the first set of biological crates and then you get out. Now we want to start the mission and then Fulton the tank. We're moving kind of fast, but quite honestly, you've been watching this for about 45 minutes now, so you kind of know what's going on. You know in what order we're going, and I'm trying to keep this video underneath an hour. So here we go. As soon as you see me pop in, I'm going to switch to a sniper rifle. Literally, after you have played this for a long time, you will have your own way of doing stuff. These are the cheat sheet for Mission 21, as you can see, 15,000 biological, 9,000 fuel. But Stryker, what does it compare to Mission 30, the ultimate resource gathering place? There you go. So there's the difference. Really, there's no contest with when it comes to Mission 30, except the biological. So just keep that in mind. This is what you're missing out. Yeah, there's more tanks there. You technically could get another couple of walkers on Mission 21. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is we're waiting to get up on a little piece of hill. Then we're going to aim our sniper rifle. I'm going to tranquilize the first guy in one of the walkers right from here through the fence. It works better when you're higher up on that hill, I discovered later on. Like I said, in order to complete this as fast as possible, you're basically going to have memorized all the guards' paths and whatnot. You're going to figure out, okay, I need to get here at a certain time. And so I realized, okay, I did actually miss him, but my miss actually made him turn around, so it gave a good follow-up shot. Remember, when you hear that distinct sound effect, that means the tranquilizer rifle has hit a spot, a soft spot, and it actually works. Make sure to take out the lights while we're doing this for the first time as well, because they will actually stay knocked out throughout your entire run. So watch the sniper. You'll kind of learn what to do and in what order in order to avoid when the sniper is going to be looking left and right. Seriously, everybody runs on a global clock, so they're going to keep repeating the same actions over and over again in a particular order. So now we're running back over here. We're going to grab these 3 containers. There is a run that I used to do where I would actually tranquilize the first guy that comes out of the front of that main building that's directly in front of these containers. I don't do it here because I found out that I can actually grab these 3 containers relatively quickly. As the helicopter is literally flying above me, I'm basically leaving this area. And that timing actually is pretty quick, to the point where I got it down to where by the time I am actually running out to the road to actually leave the area to hit the autosave point, that's when I actually get the notification that, oh hey, some of our materials are missing. So that's pretty good. Make sure to grab the guys here if they have a high enough stat, of course. Like I said, keep taking out these lights, because that will save you in the long run. When you repeat this mission later, they won't be able to see you. I actually have it timed down so that typically that light would not hit me. I'd actually be running down the side of the building before the helicopter makes that turn. So you're going to learn little things like that as you're repeating this over and over again. This guy always goes up. Oh, look what happened. Yes, this Jeep that normally I have never ever gotten seen by, I actually happen to get seen by it. So you got to be aware of that. This guy will always actually go up to that place. So if you stay down low, make sure you don't stand up fully erect, and hopefully the guy in the Jeep won't see you. So now all we're going to do is head in here, open up a couple of gates, and then we're going to grab our 3rd group of shipping containers. The helicopter, like I said, it's going to kind of hover close to where you are. Be sure to take out the lights. There's nothing you can do about the helicopter. It will seem like it's actually hovering purposely around where the player is. Yeah, it is, basically. So we got our containers. We're going to leave the area, and we're going to trigger an autosave. Basically just run straight out that gate, and we are going to run into a little gully, a little ditch that's going to lead to a unmarked road, a little flat area, and that's where we're going to hit our autosave marker. Should be coming up here any second. And there we go. There's that checkpoint. Now we know all of our items are saved. We didn't get seen. Now, we'll pet your dog. So there we go. There's the materials that I covered all in one run. Pretty quick, pretty precise. Now you want to select abort mission. That is going to bring us back into free roam. Little happy doggy there. It's going to bring us back into free roam, and then we are going to just basically activate the mission again, and then you basically restart the process. And that's all there is to it. Congratulations. The little box is going to drop. All you need to do is get close enough to it. And like I said, position that tank so that as soon as you activate the mission, you are in a advantageous position so that you can quickly Fulton that tank and get out of the way. And see, there we go. And when you're done farming for equipment, then you basically just want to return to the ACC. And then there you go. You're all done. That's how you exit out. Please try to keep in mind that there is no 100% right or wrong way to farm supplies on this. You're going to screw up probably a lot. You're going to get seen by the helicopter in places you normally never would. I basically, did it the most streamlined way as possible, but, you might think of a different way of doing it. So feel free to experiment a little bit. Maybe you get here quicker. Maybe the guy is just coming around the bend with the Jeep. This, quite honestly, is one of my more quicker times. But you'll find your own kind of little thing. Make any kind of alterations that you want, and sometimes you too will be so damn fast that you have to wait for the helicopter to pass before you run out to victory. And even though you'll hit that sign on the way out every time, I swear. And there'll be the days where the dog is going to get hit by a tree, too. God, that doesn't stop not being funny. And so you're just going to need to kind of learn to roll with those punches a little bit. Like I said, once you head into that, you're going to have a little ditch, and then the little flat area, there's that road, and that's going to trigger the autosave. So yeah, you're going to be doing this probably a lot, and before you get to mission 30, so you're going to learn the ins and out. But I've relayed some of the tips that I've used for going through this place literally dozens of times. It helps being up on a little hill when you're taking your shot here, because as you can see, oh hey, now that middle part of the fence isn't actually blocking my way. And I will try to enhance it so that you can actually hear the sound of that tranquilizer dart hitting a soft target. That way you know it's actually struck a target and not just bounced off. When you hear that sound effect, you know that, hey, I got the guy, I can move on. You know, you're just going to have a really good pattern. And you're going to know that if I miss that first tranquilizer shot, it's okay, but it's going to take me a few seconds to reacquire the guy inside the fence. But that's okay, because then the other guy will actually be not facing me, so I'll be able to hit him. And sometimes you'll hit that guy and he might actually come toward you because you hit the side of his vehicle. So believe it or not, because of my other previous videos, I get a few messages every week that, Stryker, I grabbed the shipping containers, yeah, they're gone now, what do I do? Well, remember before when I was talking about do not complete the mission and do not grab containers in free roam? Yeah, I'm making this video for you guys so I can stop getting those messages. So what happens when the shipping containers are gone in your world? How do I get them back? Well, all you need to do is complete 3 story missions or side ops. I personally like to pick mission 4, C2W, because you can basically, if you have the anti-air destroyed, you can land right in the middle of the base, and all you got to do is use some rockets. You can use the minigun, but I found rockets to be easier. Use the best rocket you got, take out all 3 of those dishes, and then you're done. You don't even need to get out of the helicopter, and then there you go. That will repopulate all your stupid little shipping containers. This is it. It's all come down to this, the top 2. Number 2, use D-Dog, the dog. And remember, cool guys don't look at explosions. No, god damn it, you looked at the goddamn explosion, you son of a bitch!
Good dog.
But I mean, seriously, the dog, it's D-Dog. Why am I wearing cheetah camo? Well, that's so that you guys don't steal my video and claim it as your own. Because it's like, who in their right mind would have a pink mother base? Who in their right mind would actually wear the cheetah print camouflage? Nobody but Stryker, damn it. Don't steal my fucking footage. So, yeah, the dog can find mines. He'll mark them on your map. He'll mark plants on your map permanently forever. Even if you get close enough to a plant, it'll be marked on your map. If you grab it, it'll still come back. He's got battle armor. You can add that to him as well. He'll find enemies at about 90 to 100 meters away. It's a soft mark, but I mean, he'll detect anyone within 100 meters. It's great. If you like being a stealth player, then the dog is definitely the best fit for you. What are you doing? You can't punch a donkey, you goddamn idiot. That's the most stupid thing I've ever seen any player actually... What? Are you kidding me? You actually knocked out a donkey. Holy sh... Sorry, I apparently have used too many swear words in a completely instructional video, so I had to delete the other one myself. But yeah, using Quiet, the sniper. She's number 1. You can send her off to scout ahead. She'll mark not everybody in the camp, depending on your level, but I mean, she can take aim at enemies, she can fire at individual ones specifically, or you can tell her to cover you and she will take out every mother in the room, you know, 100%. She's the greatest. If you like to be a little more aggressive, then she's definitely a fit for you. She can have a silenced rifle, she can have a silenced tranquilizer rifle, or she can bring a 50 cal into the battlefield. It's great. And that's it, we're done. We covered absolutely everything I wanted to talk about. Isn't it nice to have a video every once in a while that doesn't tell you to like, comment, and subscribe? Damn it! I actually said it! Damn it, I jinxed it! So hey, this has been a big undertaking, 42 gigs of footage and over 470 files, and that's just for PlayStation. That doesn't include my Xbox recordings. That even goes above 500. And man, it was great to play on a PlayStation 4 Pro, but man, is that thing tall. They just keep adding layers to it. And don't forget to thank anyone that's played on an Xbox 360. It's 6 discs. It's a huge game. I don't know how. No, I'm just yanking your chain. It's 1 disc. That's just dumb, right? I mean, 6 discs. Did you really believe that? So hey, Thanks for watching. Check out some more of my other videos. How to get wood in Minecraft. Nope, that's the wrong kind of video. Top 10 advanced tips. How to farm females. Oh, no, it's not something dirty. It's farming females in the game. Hey, check them out. Thank you so much for watching.